The universe normally speaks in white noise, static, and the gentle meaningless hum of background radiation. It's not usually one for elegant pronouncements, but sometimes when you're in the middle of nowhere, barely illuminated by a cloudy, uncaring night sky, you'll find a signal so potent, so perfectly structured that your first human reaction is total comprehensive denial. Bullshit is the opening statement of Pluribus. Not aggressive, just the sound of a rational mind hitting a wall. Our hero wears a bad cardigan. He's the solitary vigil keeper who first saw the truth, and his partner, the practical one who arrives in the truck, starts the necessary process of retraction. Something terrestrial, gotta be, bouncing off the moon. That's the sound of the scientific method at its purest, skepticism as a form of self-defense. We're at the Carl G. Jansky Very Large Array in New Mexico, by the way. These guys are probably NRAO staff or university researchers operating under NRAO oversight. Cardigan doesn't argue, he simply points to the data he's already checked. He dismisses every earthly whisper, every denial. What remains is terrifyingly simple. It's periodic, it repeats precisely every 78 seconds. And yet it's also drifting. A periodic drifting signal, a pattern that implies authorship, emanating from a distance that dissolves human scale. We're no longer watching scientific discovery in action, we're watching history happen. The nerds begin to multiply, like tribbles, probably a combination of NRAO, university scientists and local SETI staff. The atmosphere shifts from denial and jokes about the Forest Service to intense collaborative focus. The mystery moves from where it is coming from to what it is saying. They think they see Morse code, pulse width modulation, and the ghostly pattern of a player piano. They settle on an idea. The signal is structured, organized across 4 different frequencies. Quaternary, or base 4. They consider the sheer cosmic challenge of the message. We sent Voyager 1 and 2 out into the void with Chuck Berry, a hopeful, simple sonic greeting. This message, coming from 600 light years away, required a dish the size of Africa and power measured in gigawatts. If you go to all that trouble, if you expend that much energy across that much time, is your message just hello, or is it something else? The discussion that follows out in the desert air concentrates on finding out why make it hard to understand. If the signal is a greeting, why cloak it in complexity? If it's a gift, why encrypt it? The intention behind the difficulty is the last wall to fall. The cadence of the scene builds to this final, sharp pause. Cardigan stops mid-sentence, his mind suddenly pivoting, his entire framework dissolving. It's not quaternary, it's something else. Something else with 4 strands? The normal sci-fi trope would be to claim, it's a test. And while that's the obvious audience takeaway without more context, that's not what's going on here. But it kind of is a test, albeit an inadvertent one. A test of intelligence, a test of compatibility. Something is hidden in this information, something we must be smart enough to figure out. And if the signal is a test, what the heck is the prize? We've all seen this scene in sci-fi before, nerds congregating around a message from space. Thematically, I think it's quite light, and that's quite normal in the first scene of a pilot. I expect these analyses to get much deeper as we go on. But my main takeaway is a theme of collaboration. Although the man I called Cardigan, which I now realize was a jumper, did a lot of the work, he didn't do it alone. Even realizing the nature of the message was achieved through talking the problem through with someone else. I think it's reminding us, because we do know but we forget sometimes, that humanity's greatest strength lies in its diverse, messy, collaborative intellectual infrastructure. Together we can do anything,